Okay, hello everybody, I hope everything is working. Welcome to another painting stream. I hope you're all doing good, I hope everything works, and as you can see, I finally took the time and decided to hook my system up with another USB interface, and now we can have two cameras at the same time, so you can actually see what I paint with my one hand. I don't know if that's like really that cool. you have to decide, you have to tell me, but I did get some requests, so I thought let's just try it. But yeah, let's see. And we are still into this epic looking fantasy landscape painting, and I need to get my glove. I knew I always forget one thing. Okay, so after I now have my glove, we can start painting, and this will be all about basically detailing. We do need still to fix some issues here with the trees, so I think maybe we can start there. And let's just see where we go to, where it takes us. And maybe I need to blend this a bit. And don't worry, I will continue to overpaint this. Actually, the file size got rather large, so I don't know if I'm still leaving this, how's this feature called, time-lapse feature on. It depends a bit how much the saving process will annoy me. I think for now it's still okay. Well, let's see. I do need a sharp brush here, and I think I want to get rid of this area here. At least for the most part. Yeah, that's okay. This really looks a bit chubby here. Need to trim that down a bit. And then after we established the trees, we can reintroduce some foliage like leaves and stuff, and we can also get some branches going on, something like that. And we certainly need to detail out all of the foreground elements and everything that is really visible. Maybe we can grab the other chalk brush, which provides a bit of a sharper edge. It's not so good for blending though. And maybe we can add a bit of brownish tint to this. I don't know. It should be more in the bluish region. I want to emphasize this here a bit more. Let's switch to the other more sharp chalk brush. I think this will be a bit better for these small little tree branches. And let's see if we can bump up the tonal value here a bit more. I do think... Yeah, I don't want the light just there yet. Yeah, something like that. And we can... Let's see, what can we do? I do still think this needs a bit of cleanup work. Yeah, we definitely need to clean up the foliage here in the foreground. I have a bit of back pain actually. Maybe I'm not sitting at the right angle here. Is that better? I don't know. I have everything set up so that you can view. Yeah, but it still works. You can see everything I do in the best angle, but I need to watch out that I'm not hurting myself here. I think we might want to push that in the background a tad more, and this works just fine. Actually, my gloves are falling apart. I need to get some new gloves sometime. Want to have a tad sharper edges here, so let's grab this chalk brush and make the edges really sharp. But then should I separate here? I feel like I should. There's a bit more in the background. Oh, didn't want to do that, but what did I do? You can switch the layer. I think it's okay. Comes off. A bit digital though. Market Design, nice to have you here. I hope you are doing fine. How is life? How is it going? As you can see, I finally kept my promise and added the new camera to my setup, so you can actually see what I'm doing here with my hand. Oh no, now it's saving. Hopefully this doesn't take too long. If it takes too long, I have to switch off the how's it called again? The time-lapse feature. But I think for now it works. I think what we do primarily in this stream is fixing a bit the foreground, because yeah, as you can see, it's still pretty wonky. But then I also might want to get into more higher zoom level, and then I want to really start detailing out some aspects. Not necessarily everything, but I think some, like we still have to deal with the clouds a bit. But I also think some of the elements in the foreground could benefit from that. This is also in part to unify the picture a bit more. Actually, my back hurts a bit. Not a bad thing. I don't know if I'm sitting at a slightly different angle. But also I was just mowing the lawn today. Might be just that. I need to get the color right there. I think this is a tad too green. I do kind of want to mix the green with the blue a bit more. So let's see if we can use the chalk brush and get like an in-between color. Yeah. I do want to have some how do you call it, tree leaves there. I think with the trees only, it looks a bit too horror-esque in a way. So this should provide a bit of a more mysterious feeling than, or more fantasy feeling than horror. Okay, let's see if we can define this a bit more. Here also I want to bump this up a bit to the greener side, maybe even more. Yeah, something like that. And we have to watch out here a bit to make the transitions not look totally awkward. Wait, doesn't this pick up? Okay, now it does. Let's see if we can introduce some shadow color here. I don't want to overdo it though. I'm constantly overdoing it with those. Oh, also the wrong chalk brush. Those tree thingies. I feel like I already have overdone it. think the tree color, especially in the foreground, is a bit too dark. So let's try to... I do think I want a knife tool for this as well. To introduce just some purple tones. Yeah, I like that a lot better. It's not as harsh. Bless you! Something like that. You can also try to indicate some little grass leaves here. Let's try to be a bit more precise with those. And then we can have some darker grass here. Going to the lighter one as we reach the end of that little cliff. Yeah, it's pretty much just detailing and detailing again. But I kinda like that. It's a very meditative thing. I do like to sharpen some of the edges. I think especially here in this region we lost a lot of the sharpness when we did a lot of that blending. Instead I feel like in some spots it's even now a bit wonky with all the texture bashing artifacts. But slowly it's getting there. Should be a tad darker. Something like that. And maybe we can even push that a bit more into the background here. That was a bit too bright. Do you think we have a bit too much color variation here. It looks a bit too chaotic. So I guess we just use again the Painterly blender and look out for some cool spots to highlight. The other ones we want to tone down. Let me see. Sometimes I see one particular area that I kind of like, and then I just have to iterate on that before I forget it. Okay, it's saving now for a short second. Yeah, it's important to resharpen all of those edges, because otherwise it will have like this very mushy quality to it. And I do think we need to darken down this area, because the light shouldn't hit it directly. Just indirect bouncing light here. This, on the other hand, should be a bit more pronounced. Gaming Hamster, yeah, there was a request to have, I think Keller Abend was actually the one who suggested that, for me to get a new camera that you can see what I'm doing with my hand. I don't know if it's really worth the investment, I don't know. But yeah, I got one and set up everything, which I mean I already got the camera last week, but I haven't had the time to install another USB-C card, which I needed for this, and now I installed it and everything is okay. I think it's a good idea. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'm a bit on the fence about it, if it was worth it or not. Oh, I guess. I mean, now I got it, and now we will see how people react. I mean, at least you can see on which area of the painting I'm currently working on, so I guess that's nice. I was trying out different other solutions there. For example, I got a suggestion to use a mouse highlighter thingy, but as far as I know, I mean, it was I haven't checked that, but all the ones that I looked up were mouse highlighter that I saw as well. That means I was a bit distracted, like when I have a bright yellow spot so that you can see where I'm working, I would be kind of distracted as well by that, so I decided not to go that route. And with this new camera, at least I'm not what do I say? I'm not distracted, yeah. And also, maybe interesting for you, Gaming Hamster, depending on how I feel, how exhausted I am, I maybe will do some short stream with retro games afterwards. But even there, I'm a bit on the fence. I had to mow the lawn today, and now my back hurts a bit. So not that sure if I have all the power to continue, but we'll see. At the moment, I still feel pretty okay. The other thing that didn't work like I was expecting it was, let me first see here. I need to pronounce that a bit more, do I? I mean, the light should be coming from here, yeah. And it should be a tad lighter. I really like this picture. Thank you, Gaming Hamster. It's so cool that you like it. I also think it's starting to come together, but again, it's I always do these weird pictures that need like a lot of work to finally come together. And yeah, I think with this one it slowly does. My girlfriend also suggested a title for it. Usually I'm not a big, I wouldn't say a big fan, but I just don't title my work that much. And even with music, where I do have to put in titles, it's more like, yeah, it has to be one, so I just pick something. But this one, she suggested Eclipse, and yeah, I can see it. I really like that suggestion. So I guess we can call it Eclipse then. Do you have the concept already completed in your mind when you start a new painting, or does it come with the flow? Definitely more of the latter one. I mean, sometimes when I go for, let me just, I switched that around. Not here, it's now the camera. I have to watch out a bit for that. Sometimes when I start like painting with black and white and with ink or with pencil drawing, then sometimes I have the perspective and stuff figured out. But usually, like 99% of the time, where I just slap stuff on the canvas, I really don't know how it will turn out. So it just comes with the flow, and this is, when you do this approach, I guess for the first time, it might be a bit scary because you really have no idea if it is gonna work or not. But the more experience you get and the more you do this kind of paintings, the more you become comfortable. And now it is so, if I do environmental work, I'm pretty sure it will work. I just have to iterate again and again, and I really don't worry that much. The anxiety comes into place when humans or stuff like that is involved. There I still sometimes struggle a bit. I guess this is now some form of town? I don't know. The nice thing is when you are doing a painting like that, it doesn't have to be something, it just can look nice. This should be darker, and we should have some drop shadow here. It's okay though. I also think we will go into zoomed in mode somewhere into the stream. For now I still want to look at everything. Do we need to emphasize this a bit more? And then we can use the darker color here for shadows. I don't know. No, I'm gonna kill that. I was going for some towers, but I don't think they fit this that well. Something like that is better, I think. Yeah, sometimes you make mistakes, but that's totally okay. Painting is all about making mistakes, and sometimes you live with them. Sometimes you have those Bob Ross happy mistakes, but sometimes stuff just looks weird and you move on. Overpaint it. Do you need to sharpen this a bit? And a lot of the work that we are doing now will be about sharpening the image, I do think. As we blended a lot of stuff in the last stream. And blending a lot of stuff makes everything a bit, look digital, look a bit mushy. So we need to correct that. I mean, I say we need to correct it. It's just my, my aesthetic approach, if you will. You actually don't need to correct anything if you don't want to. If you are going for a bit of a washed out, more digital look, that's totally fine too. I guess sometimes that comes off a bit, I don't like teacher-like, and this is totally not my intention. I just want to tell you guys what is going on in my head at that time. So this makes sense for me, but it doesn't need to make sense for the style you might be going for. So just gotta keep that in mind. I also did some new songs that I also posted in the Discord, but maybe we can just have a listen. I had them playing in the beginning of the stream. I also like this one, but maybe just wait until this one is over and then we can listen to the other songs. Let me see, what do I need? I need the sharp-edged chalk brush. I think I just want to emphasize this edge here because this looks so very nice, and I think if I do that all the way on every edge, it will take a bit the effect away. I need to round that, but that could make for some nice foliage. I don't know. Maybe not everything. And just blend this a bit into the background. And then we can add little circles here. Let's change the brush, because as much as I want hard edges, sometimes you want some subtle plane changes indicated. That's exactly what we're doing here now. And I do think when we are going for some little grass leaves, I think they should be a bit accentuated. The thing is, I didn't want this to look that rocky. I rather have all different kinds of foliage going on here. So this is why I'm constantly changing this a bit. But what I do want to keep is the general gist of the perspective and of the plane changes, if that makes any sense to you. No way, why isn't this? It's not picking up the right color. Okay, this is the right color. And with the grass texture, I feel like my grass doesn't have the most realistic rendering. It heavily leans into a more illustrative style, as you can see here. But I do think it suits the image very well. I need a bit darker color here. Do we also want some like flower tops here? I don't know, chat, you tell me. Should I include some flowery texture or just grass? And if flowers, where? I do think we need to blend this a bit here before we are going for anything. Yeah, it looks mushy, but just wait until I've drawn the grass, yeah. And then it will look better again, I do think. Hard question. Yeah, maybe some daisy? Yeah, I was thinking that too. It could look quite nice in some spots. I feel like it's very easy to overdo. I think flowers could be a nice way to bring some color down. Might tie the drawing together in a way. Yeah, I can see that too. So maybe get some of the reddish tones down there. I mean, with daisies, I was thinking more about I don't know. Are they? I'm not a biologist. I was thinking about just white. Or off-white, maybe yellowish tones. But we could also bring down some color, which is another approach, I feel. And both are equally valid. Could both work. Want to emphasize this even more here. Okay, that's too much. Okay, the contrast comes from the flower, not from the blue light in the background. No way. I was thinking about accentuating it, but no, it looks fine the way it is. That song is amazing. Thank you. What is that? This is a recent 8-bit track that I've done. Sorry, I didn't switch on the newer songs I made, which are more in. One is actually Dungeon Synth, and the other one is a Vaporwave track. So let's just switch to them then. So I don't know if you like this particular style of music. It's very laid back and also a bit repetitive, but that's like that's the genre. Though I also like the way that the grassy rocky area looks now. I think it's very effective at grounding the whole image. Yeah, I do think, especially with the trees, now that they are a bit more refined, they could now kind of stand on their own. I mean, it still has a bit of wonky areas, but they got lost a bit. These are not so important. And with the a bit dreamy texture of the grassy area here, it makes everything feel a bit more like this moonlight fantasy feeling that I was going for, and that is why it was important for me to include that. But I can tell you one thing. If you are doing an image such as this and you start directly with drawing all the grass stuff, it will look very bad. Usually, I mean, some people can pull it off, but at least for me, it kind of doesn't work that way. I need to emphasize the plane changes first, and when I have done that afterwards, then I can come in and have all the little plane changes accentuated with grass or flowers or something like that. So, and this brings me to another issue with painting. That is, sometimes, I already mentioned this a couple of times, you are setting up your image, yeah? I mean, you are doing this and you want foliage, and then you look at the rocky areas and say, oh well, they don't look bad, so might just leave them there. So yeah, this is a constant fight, and the same goes with the flower textures that we are now debating. I mean, I can certainly leave everything at this stage and it will look great. And the question with adding flowers now is, okay, it is work. Is it making it better or worse? And sometimes you just can't decide that without having work spent. I mean, again, there are some people who are like absolutely amazing at predicting on what your brush strokes will look like, and they have an instant idea. Okay, I'm not one of those. The thing, I might went a little overboard here. I need to unify this a bit more. I do think I want to continue like that for the moment and just add some little grassy areas here and there. And when I feel like I've done enough, or just I'm a bit bored, then we can try the flowers. I still have to clean up all of this section here. And this is one of the cases you saw me doing the grass, and it didn't take too long. And I feel like this comes from the photo texture, and you might think, okay, now with the photo, everything is so much easier, right? And it's actually not. I mean, I have to overpaint everything of this and still make it work in perspective and stuff like that. So, yeah, I don't know. Talking so much about photo textures and stuff, but actually it's not the biggest issue. The biggest issue are fundamentals, and I try to talk about them as much as I can. But then again, if I would limit myself to those, the stream would probably be very boring, and also I would repeat myself a lot. And this is just maybe one reason why I talk so much about the photo bashing. Because it's an interesting concept to talk about, but it applies more to the already advanced. A lot of people I see, when they begin to draw, they dive right into full-on photo bash, give me everything, and you see a lot of people. I think even in the stage that I'm now in, you could argue that I shouldn't focus that much on this. I should actually practice my my pencil drawing, and this is what I did for a time, and I will continue with the with my world building stuff, because this is heavily reliant on pencil drawing and perspective and stuff like that. And actually just doing that gave me a lot of benefits, I felt. Like, if you look at the images that I'm doing now as opposed to the ones, I don't know, at least the ones that I've done a couple years ago. A couple, like 15 years ago. But they certainly look worse than the stuff I'm doing now. So again, since we do have some new viewers here, let me just say hello to all of you. I hope you're all doing great. And since this is an art stream, I really like it if you guys, if you want to talk about anything artsy or non-artsy with me, just hit me up in the chat. I'm very happy to answer all of your questions. And also, if you want to share like your own artwork, if you want me to have a look over it, if you want me just to admire it, it's totally okay. I don't consider that spamming or something like that. Feel free to do so. And yeah, basically feel welcome. And if you're just here for lurking, that's totally fine too. Just want to give you a short positive vibe here. I hope at least that I'm positive. Sometimes I'm a bit exhausted, but I guess that happens for anybody. I was very exhausted when I started the stream, but now I'm already feeling better. And as you can see, we're doing very minor touch-ups here. We're doing very detail-heavy stuff, and I also might want to zoom in for this a bit later. As of now, I think everything works just fine at this angle, and we do have some issues here with the photo bash that I did. So I need to draw over this a couple of 100 times until it homogeneifies a bit. Okay. Okay, now we have all of these songs from the other composer. This is also, it's not public domain, but is CC BY and with commercial enabled. So I guess with Twitch you never know if they're gonna block you either way. But I don't feel like listening to that at the moment. It's a bit too hyper for me at the moment. Even though it isn't hyper at all. But I hope you can get what I mean. So I will just skip that if that's okay. And go back to some... maybe not piano stuff. Just make this one. And then we go to the piano stuff. The one thing that didn't work out with the second camera that I have now on here is I did also buy a ring light, and this is so great for streaming retro art and stuff like that. But I do have to turn it off because it reflects heavily on the tablet. So yeah, not everything working perfectly, but it's okay. I need to have all of these elements here pretty sharp, otherwise it will look kind of bad. Panda Puffkin, this is such a powerful image. The Eye of the Storm looks almost like a vortex. Oh, thank you so much, Panda Puffkin. I'm glad you are enjoying it. We still need to fix a bit the sky here. I mean, it also has an interesting, almost abstract look with the very weird brushes that I used there. But I feel like we still have to go that extra mile to make it really, really epic. But I'm very happy that you like it already so much. I mean, the footage stuff, it's just iterating the same area of the image over and over again, and I don't know, this might be a bit boring to watch, I don't know, but I have to do it, you know. It's kind of required if we want to have that nice, a bit painterly feeling here. And as I have already mentioned, my foliage tends to really be on the more illustrative side. Otherwise, I tend to be very focused on conceptual design, but I feel like as soon as I draw trees and shrubberies and stuff like that, I feel like I'm venturing into child book illustration or something like that. I can't do anything about that. At least now. I mean, maybe I will get better and then we will have a bit more realistic looking things, but I even don't know if I want that this much. I mean, you could also say it's my style, but I don't like that. I mean, you could, if you are really good, you can emulate like 1,000 styles. And the thing is with this specific style is it's just like I can't do it any other way. So it's not really that much of a style, is it then? Just more of a limitation. I just came off the back of a very harsh critique from my art teacher, but it was needed. She said, "Boulder, no more timidity." Oh, sorry. Kind of listen to the word. So I'm here for inspiration. Yeah. Sometimes art critique can really help you to push you. Sometimes, especially if you. How do I put that? If you are already a bit on the verge of breaking and then you get like this weird art critique, even if it is totally valid. I mean, I assume nobody is calling you out for bullshit. I mean, that happens too, especially in like school and stuff like that. Somebody just doesn't like you. But I think that more often than not, this doesn't happen as much as it is discussed online. Usually people are trying to help, but sometimes you're not in the right mindset to appreciate this kind of help, if that makes any sense. It's a bit too much dark color. Yeah, I will tone this down. Don't worry too much. As of now, it's a bit too heavy. Yeah, something like that. So, Panda Puffking, what did your art teacher critique about your work, or was it just that it? Oh, you already read it. My teacher is very kind and she's just direct. Yeah, that's what I was going for. But timid meaning shy or hesitant. Oh, okay. So I make soft and gentle marks too much. Yeah. Sometimes you really need to be bold, especially with, I see that a lot on portraits. You are so used to the, how do you put it, to the Photoshop look in ads and magazines and stuff like that. And even if you're not, even if you are going for a complete different aesthetic, you just tend to be, especially with women faces, there it is the most glaring. You are very subtle. You are so afraid that one sharp edge could ruin the image, and to be fair, it can if you're doing it wrong. But if you really want to nail, how do I put that, a realistic rendering and also character, you need to be bold. Yeah. Puffkin, if you have some work to share, then I would really happy, especially with your work. I can't really. I mean, I've seen your work and it's absolutely amazing. I could never do. How do I put it? Like human portraits. Sorry, I was just looking for the word portraits. Portrait stuff like you. You're so very good with the colors. It's actually amazing, and I wouldn't say that lack of boldness is should be a top priority. I don't know. It depends a bit on your other subjects. There it might be, but with regarding to your portraits, I do think they are pretty bold, at least in terms of tonal values and stuff like that. It might come down to other things like posture and emotion and facial expression, stuff like that. There I can't really rule that out, but just in regard to tonal contrasts, I don't see it. Yeah. Why doesn't this work? Yeah. Need to have a sharp edge here. This should also even be sharper. And you can see me reintroducing those sharp edges also over and over again, because I have done this exact thing over and over again. And it's not a bad thing, because you're constantly trying to approach this more and more. And sometimes you overdo it, but usually you know this way when to stop. Oh, it's now saving. Sorry about that. Need to wait this out. And it still saves in an okay time. That's so kind, thank you. It was mostly in regards to my landscapes. My lack of confidence and practice comes through, but I'm learning from Moog and you get it back on the horse, as we say. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah. If I can help you with anything, I mean, obviously, just watching the stream is helping you, as you say. But if you want some specific advice, feel free to ask. Like if we need to talk a bit about like atmospheric perspective, for example, or perspective at all, like using grids, tonal structure is always a big thing that I spend a lot of time talking about. Maybe something I haven't even thought about. We also did like thumbnails, so that would be also a good thing to talk about. Just throwing random stuff in here. I mean, obviously. I don't know. What you want to be working on, but one thing is kind of good if you are trying to improve, especially when you're drawing, like, say, thumbnails, yeah? You either do, for example, thumbnails that really push your perspective, and then you kind of do them freehand first, and then you reintroduce and you make really sure this perspective sits, and you don't worry about tone and you don't worry about color. Like, those should be black and white. Then again, if you really want to go for mood boards, which is what we were doing in the one stream where I did all of the thumbnails, we really went for mood boards, and there I really didn't care. You didn't see me using the perspective tool at all. Like, I knew the perspective was off in some places, but you want to have like a focused mindset. It's pretty much the same when you are working on, let me see, on improving your skills, for example, in drumming. Since I'm a drummer, I can speak from experience there too. You don't want to practice all your grooves over and over and over again. This doesn't make any sense. I mean, it makes sense to play your grooves, but it also makes sense to just focus on your left hand, your goddamn left hand, and you want to make sure that you have a 1 hour workout for this left hand. You can play other patterns with the other hands, that's totally fine, but they are not the focus. You have one focus, and you should also train with one focus if you're doing art practice. Oh my, I'm having a bit of trouble talking here. When I get too excited, I feel like I'm losing all the words I want to say. Yeah, I hope that made at least some sense. I need to bring that down a bit. Yeah, something like that. This just works. I do need those edges a bit sharper. So this might also be a very interesting topic to talk about, like all of your edges and how you pronounce them. I mean, in this regard, I'm a bit on really one extreme of the spectrum, because I really like my edges to be rather sharp in a lot of places. And it's not necessarily a good thing, because I constantly want, this is my point also where I want to improve, is to know where I can get away with more textured edges, more washed out effects, stuff like that, as opposed to rendering everything totally clean. And still have trouble with that. But in general, it's I think it's far better to have this problem as opposed to the other problem where you have just all soft edges, because this will make your, if you're not doing what you want to usually, this makes your images come off a tad amateurish in a way. I mean, again, that could also be like your intention, and it's fine then. But I feel like a lot of the time you want to look out for this. It all makes sense, don't worry. I can barely make sense in my native language sometimes, so I have no stones to throw when someone speaks in a second language. Okay. Yeah. Still, I feel like I can improve a bit. I'm constantly working on this. Let us push down the value more into whiter color. Let's just continue a bit with the foliage again. Maybe we want to highlight the grass here a bit. I'm not too sure though. We also have like this green color here. It could play a bit into the lightning that's going on here. And I need the other chalk brush to make a bit of a smoother transition here. Like this should be in my head a bit of like a mossy, mushroomy area. I don't know, we don't need to define all of this. Let me see. You can have some really long grass elements here. And then some lighter grass there. No. This is supposed to be rather in the background, so if we want some grass elements, I think we could use that area here. Sometimes, if you have some time, if love to know artists that inspire. Oh, you want to know what artists I'm inspired from? Yeah, for sure. I mean, I already talked so much about Feng Zhu. So he's really a great inspiration for me, but also like guys like Ryan Church and what's his name again? I constantly forget his name, the guy from goodbrush.com. I'm so sorry, I forgot his name. Sorry, I'm not good at remembering names at all. But yeah, like those. Proco is cool too, but I wouldn't exactly say he's a huge influence on me. I mean, I follow his tutorials and stuff like that, but I don't do that much character work, so he's just one guy I can really say that I do like his work. I wouldn't consider him like my main inspiration or something like that. And then there are, I mean, obviously these are the concept art guys, but then there are also the more artsy, sorry for the typos. No problem. I was just trying to comprehend what you were saying, so not a problem at all. I was just struggling myself to make some sense there. I was talking about artists that I like, and then we go into surrealism territory real quick for once. But there are also other more into other painters in the romantic area, especially like if I would have to pick one from this time frame from the 19th century, it would be Gustave Doré. He is really so great with his landscapes. It's actually, and he does all of his landscapes just with freaking how do you, it's not wood cutting, oh darn it, I have one color set which is labeled like etching. I was looking what about etching. He does that all just by etchings. It's so absolutely incredible. And I try to really fight to get something like this here in this epic image with all of the benefits from digital painting, and he just does that with it's not a chisel. I think due to a chemical process you paint that, yeah, it's amazing. So yeah, Gustave Doré would be one of my top picks. And then when we come to real surrealism, I think I would really make a case for Max Ernst. He is not that well known. I mean, maybe he is, I don't know. But at least when I talk to people, everybody goes for Dali, and he's great too. No shame in that. So I can understand everybody that loves Dali. But for me, a bit more on the abstract side of things, Max Ernst, it's more my cup of tea. So yeah. These are basically the concept art guys, the surrealist guys. I mean, obviously there's more than one, but let me pick one to talk a bit about. And the 19th century stuff. I also recently discovered a lot of the American painters as well. They had like this one landscape painting school that are also very prolific in illustration as a whole, but I would have to look that up. I didn't quite remember the name. It was like something like the Boston School or something like that, but it wasn't the Boston School. I'm not too sure. I would need to look that up. Is the light coming from? I constantly worry about the light and where it is coming from. So I do think it's coming from here, so this is totally okay. I don't know. I think I need. Oh no, I've thrown something down. I'm sitting so uncomfortably here. This may be also a reason why my back hurts a bit. I was trying to get into a more comfy position. Yeah, I think that did the trick. Yeah, I don't know if you if you look at the image the same way I do, but the more and more I introduce those sharp edges, for me, the more the image comes together. I mean, there's still a lot of work to do, but yeah. I really feel like this improves the image quite a bit. Quite a bit. Okay. We need to be careful not to throw our atmospheric perspective here away. But we can have like some little elements here and there which are showing through. Oh, what did I do there? I think I accidentally hit a button I wasn't supposed to hit. Again, okay, I get it now, why this has happened. I just wanted to manipulate the size of my pencil and accidentally drag the image around. This sometimes happens, I don't know why my wacom does that sometimes, because I haven't clearly pushed that button. Yeah, one thing that I like about the landscape painting is that it is in places almost like an abstract image, and I rambled about that on and on and on. And here especially you can see all of those little tiny color variations, and you have some green here and some purple, and oh man, I really love this. I could do this without end. I can really zoom in there and work over time, but anyway, sometimes I then get a bit bored by that. But it is fun. Need that sharp brush. Yep. And let me see. I do think. Do we want to go into the image even further? Let's try. I mean, at least we can then smudge out the last problematic areas and see them a bit better. Let me grab, I don't know, what should I grab? the chalk brush with the hard edges. now back to the default chop brush. And then we can have some variation here. Let me... I'm just switching between two brushes. The hard edge sharp... yeah, the sharp hard edge chop brush, and the other one which is mainly controlled by opacity. Let's grab the chop brush again. Oh, this is the wrong chop brush. Why? Oh, I routed this to the wrong brush. That is weird. Okay. Yeah. No, it doesn't do anything. Okay, very weird. I have to look that up. What is happening there? Okay, let's continue this one, and then we have a switch back to the original image. Yeah. And then we maybe want to blend out some of the edges here. And I do want to introduce this nice color here. Yeah, something like that. And I don't know. Does this make sense on the light and shadow level? Not 100%, so let's try to improve that. Yeah, this makes a bit more sense now. Basically what I'm doing here is just I look for where is the light coming from, and where should the shadows be, and not all the time this matches up, and where it doesn't match up I try to fix it. Let's see. It shouldn't be that light. And we can have a bit of this. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't particularly enjoy the way those edges meet here. Yeah, I think something like this makes a bit more sense. I don't know, we're doing things here and I think we are improving things, but it just takes a lot of time. Oh no, it's saving again. Let me grab the blender real quick. Sometimes I see spots that I particularly don't enjoy because they still have this photo bash vibe going on, and we can correct those. Okay, this doesn't work, so I don't even know why. I was pretty sure that I followed the perspective line, but I didn't. And we also need to fix this area with the trees. I don't know. So much to fix. But I do think we did a pretty nice job today. A lot of improvement, especially in this area. I feel like we really nailed that that foreground area. I'm still on the fence with the flowers. I will try them out maybe next stream. I thought I would do them in this, but yeah, I was a bit carried away to clean up a bit here on the mountain range. And still also I do think we have to do a bit more here. It's not totally working. Still have some spots that look very badly photobashed. But it will improve over time, as it always does. So I do think this could need some sharper edges here and there. Also maybe here. This also brings it a bit more together on one perspective layer. I mean, I did push that a bit too far back, and now it kind of works nicely. A bit more value would be nice here, and yeah. I feel like sometimes I overdo it a little bit with the dramatic rocky textures here in the mountains. Yeah, I feel like here I shouldn't do anything. And even this might be a tad much. Let's just tone that down a little bit. And we can have one here because this is very sharp already. No. It's a bit too spiky, is it? Spiky mountains, the favorite of every concept artist ever. Because it just looks so nice. Yeah, and in the next stream we will be looking at this area. For now, and just leave it be. And we could clean up this here a bit, I feel. It still has a bit of a weird look going on. Let me grab the default chat brush, a favorite of mine, and then we can unify this a bit. Actually a bit of the wrong music for this kind of thing. Let me blend a bit, and then I do think when I'm done here we might try to wrap this up, and we will continue in the next stream, which, if everything goes according to plan, will be on Sunday as always. I do want to continue to blend this a bit before I leave the stream. But then again, as I told you, I was planning to maybe have a stream directly after where I do stream some retro games. The question would be now, I mean, some people obviously will come as soon as I start the stream, but Gaming Hamster, are you still here? Would you be interested in that? I mean, even if you're not, I still might do it, but it's just a short question to see if there's any direct interest. Just could also mean that I just take a break and then come back a bit later. Would also work. Painterly blender. I don't like this little area here. Yeah, very hard to tell where I should add a couple of detailed spots and where I should just leave it be. Another little hard edge here. Okay. I think we did a good job today, and I won't call this one finished yet. We will continue. Is it there? Yeah, there's a little spot. We will continue with the image in the next stream, as I already told you that. I got so distracted. So let's just save that, and yeah, I think I make a short break. That would be the better call now. I can grab something to eat, maybe open some limo, and then we might continue this with another retro stream. Until then, thanks so much for being with me, and does it make sense to raid then? Let's see if we have somebody to raid too. Not exactly. I mean, there's Tamahuma and Peter Noster, but they are also streaming retro, so it would be very weird to both raid to them and then start a stream in a few minutes. So I just say we just quit the stream and I come back in a few minutes. Panda Puffkin, thanks so much for being on the stream, and as I said, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them either on stream or off stream in the Discord, and I do my very best to help you. So yeah, I guess that's it. Good night, everybody. I hope you're doing great. Goodbye, and we quit the stream.